Hey, all right, welcome back to Raff's Brain, a show about things that are interesting to me. I am your host, Rob Raffety, coming to you for my second episode, recorded on location, on vacation, down here in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Little town of Duck. Quack, quack, sneak attack. This place is a beautiful little venue. If you ever get an opportunity to pay a visit, I highly recommend it. I'm just walking back from a little coffee shop up the road from the townhouse slash condo where I reside during my time away. This little joint's called Sweet Teas, like a capital T. Like if Mr. T had a coffee shop, but he became a pacifist and friendly instead of violent and angry at the world. Sweet Teas. A really nice little place, little spot to hit up if you're ever in Duck. Check it out. We're friendly with the owner. She's here year-round. Not one of those seasonal locations. She's here. She's a resident. She doesn't play games. Her name is Stacy. You can tell her Raff sent you. She might wonder who that is. Tell her Colleen sent you. That's my wife. Much more close with my wife, probably. But the bottom line is, you got to hit it up if you need some coffee, you need some wine. You know, all the essentials for any beach trip. Speaking of essentials for a beach trip, I want to kind of move on today, as I mentioned in my first episode, a topic that was on my brain recently, and that is fashion and attire in a beach setting. Now, I'm a 48-year-old man, and I'm not someone who historically has been known for his keen fashion sense, to put it mildly. I don't know why. I just haven't ever invested a great deal of time or money or effort beyond the basics. I mean, when I was growing up in rural West Virginia, man, it was all about camos, jeans with, you know, what was it called? Acid wash jeans. You know, if you could get some rock and roll t-shirts, that was pretty much the standard uniform of the day. Maybe once I got to Gap before my senior year of high school. And I was like trying to step it up a notch. I got like some parachute pants or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just think it was one of those things where you learn at an early age that if you want to look good, it costs money, man. It costs money. And if you don't have a lot of money, fashion is a secondary importance. That's just the nature of the beast. And that's my life. And I guess even as I've, succeeded in life to a degree where I have a little bit of spare income, not independently wealthy, sadly, but, I can throw some dough around. I can overpay for a bottle of champagne at a bar, like the best of them. So, I got a little coin in my pocket. How do you want to spend that? For whatever reason, it never really, fashion just never was the thing that I valued. And let's be honest, I save a lot more than I spend. It's just a frugality that's inherent to my fiber of every aspect of who I am. So, I don't know if you're picking up the wind. It's windy out this morning. And if you're getting the wind and it's affecting the audio, hey, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep up the pace and keep recording content. If no one listens to this episode because the audio quality is all overblown by the sea breeze from the ocean, that's what it is, man. Live and learn. But I'm going to keep rapping a little bit about fashion. I want to give you the context, the framework, just for the, as we zoom in to this specific situation here. I thought it was important to give you the overall context again, to summarize, I'm just not a fashionable guy. I respect it, I admire it to a degree, but I also don't get all caught up in it. I can't. I guess I could. That's the difference. Like, I could, technically. I just have chosen not to. I just don't see that as something that matters to me as much relative to other things. Okay, so that's the framework as we contemplate a specific type of fashion, and that is beach fashion. It's a thing. It's a thing. Yes, indeed. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on beach fashion? I mean, personally, I think when I think of beach, I think shorts and a tank top, maybe a Hawaiian shirt. You gotta have some shades. Gotta keep that sun out. Maybe a hat. Although my hat preferences have gone all over the map. Dude, when I was young, I used to wear hats all the time. Pittsburgh Pirates, baseball. And then that evolved into other things in college. There was probably about a year of my life where I wore this, like, jungle hat. I thought it was very cool. It was making a statement. The statement was, I'm an idiot. Look at me. So my hat game's never been pretty strong. Straw hats, you know, Inspector Clouseau type hats. Those are fun. Little sailor hats, skipper. Yeah, I've worn them all. I used to enjoy it. I don't wear hats much anymore. But I do think of hats, and I associate hats with the beach, much like I do those other pieces of attire. But I'll be the first to tell you that, like, my beach fashion game is pretty, well, like the rest of my fashion game. It's just weak. It's not on point. I will say I recently, I don't want to say the word inherited because my father's still alive, but I raided his closet at his request, by the way. This wasn't one of those things where you go steal from your parents without their knowledge and awareness. I don't respect that. I don't do that. I don't play that game. This was all authorized and encouraged as my father was trying to, you know, clean out, create some space in his home. And again, I'm going to cross the street here. It's a very precarious situation. You got to look both ways. You got to make sure everyone is attuned to your presence at the crosswalk. And I made it safely. It's always a great feeling when you can cross the crosswalk almost unimpeded, almost like I didn't have to stop. Because I'll tell you what, that is not the norm. You got to be very careful around here. That's the one thing I would warn anybody that comes to this neighborhood. Duck. You know, the stated posted speed limit's probably, I don't know, 25. But I don't know, man. People kind of blast through that pretty quickly. There's not a lot of adherence to the expectations and norms there. Safety is not always first. And then when it comes to the crosswalks, you know, they have these things in Arlington County where you push a button and it lights up, and that kind of is a nice signal to the driver. Hey, pay attention. Try not to run this person over on your way to work, on your way to the gym, on your way to the organic food market. Please remember that these pedestrians are out here in existence. So we might need something like that down here in Duck. I might have to get a petition going. On the other hand, I find those things very annoying because usually anyone with a decent gait can walk across the street much faster, significantly faster than the duration of the flashing light. And what does that mean? That means that there's a lot of cars that are still stopped and waiting or slowing down. But there's in fact nothing to be cautious about. There are no people crossing the street, right? So I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that trade-off. But anyway, I just want to make this point. If you ever come to Duck, be careful crossing the street. Cars are Not always the most attentive. Yeah, in terms of fashion, back to the fashion game. You know me. I'm rocking one of my dad's old Hawaiian shirts. As I was saying, my dad let me raid his old closet. The good thing about being a frugal person raised in a frugal family is you just don't throw things away. This has pros and cons. I think it's mostly a pro. Over the years, my dad has acquired, I don't know, dozens of, I would say, pretty flashy, iconic Hawaiian shirts. And now he's not rocking them, so he's like, hey, hand me down. I bequeath to thee. You know, do for the living, he would say. Don't just wait till I'm dead to go through my clothes. Take the best ones while you still can. All right, so I am. And I have a nice array of Hawaiian shirts. I think that's a good thing. So I think I've got some props on the shirt game this week. A couple nods. A couple finger points. Finger guns. Hey, nice shirt. Yeah, that happened once. It was a little awkward. In a gas station on the way down here. Hey, nice shirt, buddy. Double guns. Yeah. That was encouraging. That's the guy I want to impress. But where I think I'm still lacking is in the shorts. And then certainly until very recently, the department of footwear. Footwear, yes. This is where I'm going to have to tell you very, very, very candidly. I'm 48 and I've always had a little aversion. I don't want to, actually, that's putting it mildly. I just don't wear sandals, dude. I don't do it. Flip-flops, sandals, thongs, whatever you want to call them. I'm not having it. That is just not acceptable. My feet need protection. I need something to cover them because I always have this sense that someone's going to stomp on my feet if I'm in a crowded bar or restaurant. I don't want to get my toenails ripped out by someone who's not paying attention. I don't know what it is. I also like to wear socks. I like to wear socks and shoes. Is there such a problem? Is that what's wrong with this perspective in life? I think there's got to be other people like me out there. We are just the shoed people. We prefer shoe. Here's the thing. I don't even wear a lot of different types of shoes. I'm not vain. I'm not like Imelda Marcos. Is that what her name was? The lady in Philippines who had like thousands of different types of shoes in her closet while her people starved. I think that was the story there. I don't remember. But I'm not at all like that. I very much get the utility out of every purchase of footwear. I like to have a go-to pair of sneakers, a go-to pair of dress shoes, and that's about it. I don't need to mix it up. I don't need much variety in my footwear game. And that, persists when I come down to the Outer Banks. I'm just rocking one set of sneakers. I do have different socks every day. I'm not someone who tries to overwear the socks. I had a roommate like that in college. It was a sight to behold. Or maybe more like a smell to behold. This dude would wear the same socks for days on end. Not to mention whatever else he was doing with those socks. IYKYK hashtag. Bottom line, if anything, I will change socks regularly, like multiple times a day if I feel the need. So it's weird, right? I got many, many pairs of socks, one pair of shoes, my go-to. But all this has gone into a massive state of upheaval this very week. As we were here a few days ago, waltzing around, and I went into a little joint called the Sandal Store. Hey, thumbs up to that marketing. You know what they do there? They sell sandals. It's a store for sandals, all your sandal needs. Hey, let's go check it out. Now, I don't know the last time you've been to a sandal store. I don't think I've ever been to a sandal store. It might have been my first time. Maybe I had gone in the past. I just forgot about it. I kind of blanked it out from my memory because I had such a harrowing experience. But this time, I will confess, I was on a little bit of a mission. I felt like, you know what, Raffety? Everyone else is rocking sandals. Your socks are all sweaty. You get sand in it. When you go on the beach with socks and shoes, it just doesn't end well. And it's been like that for years. And then you smash your shoes together to shake off all the sand. But you can't quite do it. Then your toes get all gritty. And if you're walking, you get little blisters and little scrapes. And I don't know what it was. What pushed me over the threshold? I think it was my wife. She was like, just get a pair of sandals. I basically just do what she tells me to do. She'd been thinking that for her whole life, and she finally broke down after 19 years or so of marriage. Like, hey, get a pair of sandals, you heathen. Okay, let's go to the sandal store. It was actually for her to get sandals, and I was just a plus one to the sandal store event. But I got sucked in, and I started looking around at the sandal selection, and I was very impressed. Maybe it's just been a long time since I've even thought about... I think about, Birkenstocks, sure. Thongs or whatever, the plastic cheap ones, sure. Folks, if you haven't been to a sandal store in the past, 10, 15 years like me, you might want to check it out, because the sandal game is innovation city. I mean, you got Velcro, you got buckles, laces, straps, high-top sandals, Converse. Are they I think Converse is in the sandal game. They don't even make sneakers anymore. They're like, no, we're all about sandals now, apparently. There's also a lot of unfamiliar brands. There's just a wide array of sandal. And I guess the word sandal is broadly defined now, much like the word pizza. You talk about the California Pizza Kitchen. A lot of things they serve there are not pizza. In my view, very conservative definition. Pizza is dough, tomato sauce, cheese, and some array of toppings. There might be like a dozen toppings that would constitute in any arrangement what I would define as a pizza. P-I-Z-Z-A, Italian food. But dude, people have taken that pizza game, they've stretched it like Gumby. I mean, geez, anything with dough and toppings is basically, it's a pizza. Slap some barbecue chicken on there, some gummy bears, yeah, pizza. No. I don't know. Anyway, sandals, similarly, you got like wraparound things, leather straps. I feel like I'm in Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to change some gold for these things. What am I doing? How many pieces of silver does it cost to grab these this pair of little crafty boots? Sandals? Are those sandals? What is a sandal? Well, anyway, long story short, I splurged. And it was kind of an upsell situation. As I've indicated in the past, I'm never good in the upsell situation. Why am I such a sucker? They see me coming in the door. There's a guy that doesn't even want to buy sandals, but he's gonna leave this store with among the most expensive sandals he could possibly purchase. How does that happen? I'll tell you how it happens. They start you on the low end. Oh, these are like $25, $30. By the way, it's awkward because you try them on, and that's awkward because I'm like barefoot. The lady said, take your sock off, boy. It was an order. It wasn't a request. Take your sock off. Try some sandals. Walk around. You're going to get comfortable. You're going to love them. I mean, who was I to say no? I lost. I surrendered my free will the moment I walked through the threshold of that door. The sandal store. It's a magical place. Yeah, so she started me off on a couple different of the low-end sandals, and they couldn't quite fit. You know, like there's different sizes. I'm usually like a size 11. That's kind of what I roll with on my shoes. But in sandal land, I guess that's too small. So I'm more like up to a 12 or even a 13. Depends on the manufacturer. Hey, we need some government regulation on this. Now, I'm not a fan, typically. I want to let markets figure it out. But come on, we need more uniformity in the sizing of sandals. I was popping on 8 to 13 range, and I'm getting different levels of comfort. I just think someone needs a uniform size measure, okay? A system. Can we all agree with this? It could be voluntary. I got to get this phone call. Come on, man, I'm on the phone. No. I can't talk right now. I'm going to wrap up this episode. I care too much about this recording. So hang tight. All right. I'm going inside into my house. I want to finish up the sandal story. I just want to tell you, I ended up purchasing, I got upsold, a very nice pair of sandals, but I didn't realize the cost until I was checking out. It was like $100 or something, $120 for sandals. Are you kidding me? But I'll tell you what, it's been somewhat transformative. Or maybe I'm just justifying that extraordinary expense, that outlandish expense. Maybe that's what's happening. Hard to tell. Either way, my fashion game is elevated slightly above mediocre with my father's Hawaiian shirts and my brand spanking new sandals from the sandal store OBX. This was not a paid advertisement, I promise, but it was a very, very, very expensive purchase for me. And my toes are liking it. I'm getting used to it, but I'll get there one day. All right, that's part 2 of Outer Banks Raff's Brain recording. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you soon. In the next episode, who knows what we're going to talk about. And also check out the hot yoga problems from the Outer Banks Hot Yoga Studio here. I've been having fun with that on my car rides back from there. One out, another episode on the way, and a third one will be forthcoming as well. Lots of content coming out of this little mini vacation, Labor Day week in the OBX. All right, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.